Talita, how are you?
I'm good, and you're Rafina?
I'm good. I hope you've been keeping well since the last time we saw you. I just wanted to sit down with you and get a better understanding of your experiences with the EARN Agripreneur Development Programme. The last time we spoke, you did lightly touch on how you came to join the EARN Agripreneur Development Programme, but I do have a few more questions about your experience. Tell me, how did you come across the invite for the EARN assessment?
It was somebody shared it on WhatsApp group that I was part of it, and then it was so interesting because it was talking about agriculture. And like I told you, I have the passion for agriculture, you know. So it got my attention. I said, wow, no, this is definitely what I'm gonna do. And then I remember that time I didn't even know the place where we're gonna do the assessment. And then, but I believed that as long as I have a mouth to be asking people, I'm gonna arrive there.
So yeah, all by any means necessary.
I will arrive there. I will arrive there. And I remember that day, I even arrived late. But I arrived there, and then when I arrived, I met Mr. Kovang and Mr. Patrick, who took me on the process of how we're gonna do, and then yes.
Okay, and then how did you find the assessment and the communication afterwards?
For me, the assessment, that's when now I understand why it was there, the questions that were there. Because like for me in the beginning when I was home, I thought that what if they're gonna ask me things that I don't have information about? Because for me, I wanted to nail the assessment. I wanted to be chosen. And we were told that they only need 10 people. But I wanted to be one of those 10 people, you know. So to my surprise, when I reached there, they gave me the questions that were there. Were simple questions. They were talking about me as a person, and then me as a business, and then just a little bit of maths. And then now I understand why those questions were there, because Mr. Ngoma is always teaching us that in a business, it is you as you an individual, and then there is a company, you as a company. There are two different things. And then now I understand that, okay, those questions have to be there because they had to understand who Talita is. You know, I remember even after we finished the assessment, Mr. Kobanya and Mr. Patrick asked me how was the assessment, and I told them that I gave this assessment who I am.
And your best.
Yes. And then it's up to the management to decide if they want me as I am or they don't. And then
and they did.
And they did. And here I am now. Yes.
And again, just to touch on, now that you've gone through the full 60 program, right? And just remembering the questions asked in the assessment, do you feel like they prepared you enough for when you came on site here and you actually started doing the work that, hey, now I see where those questions relate to what we're doing here?
Like I said, yes, they're one thing, you know, the questions and what I did here is one thing, because from the questions that were there, they were able to know that Talita can face these challenges. Talita can do this, you know, because in the business, there are challenges. But then if now they know that, okay, for these challenges, this lady can be there, can face the challenges and solve them. So for me, yes, those questions in the assessment really helped, and it was necessary for them to be here because, you know, in the real world, you have to do your finances, which I did mention that there were a little bit of maths in there. So if now you don't know maths and then you have to do finances, it's another thing, you know. And then in business, I have now learned that business is about problem solving. So some questions in the assessment were they wanted to know how I will, as me, solve the
certain
problems.
Mm.
So that's why I'm saying, yeah.
Okay. And do you see any need for improvements, maybe that can be added to this part of the process for the next cluster of agripreneurs?
No, I think the way it is, it's fine. It's a great thing. I don't see any failure in it. Because if maybe I'm gonna see a failure, it means even me, I am seeing myself as a failure. But for now, as I'm finishing my program, I don't see myself as a failure. I see myself as a successful young woman who is going to go in Lephalale and make impact in the whole of Lephalale.
So make real change.
You see, so for me, no.